Ocean debris is a growing problem, with an estimated 8 to 12 million tons of plastic ending up in the world's oceans every year. And even when beaches and coastlines are cleared of that debris, very little is actually recycled. But at Ucluelet's West Coast landfill, the Ocean Legacy Project is working to change that.
We're very fortunate. The Ocean Legacy Foundation came up with the idea to create these centralized facilities that could collect marine debris that was being collected through big cleanups, through individual efforts, through fishermen contributing their derelict materials. So there's a number of locations now, Vancouver Island and on the up the coast. The job here is to sort it into the various categories that it's used for recycling. So there's about 10 different categories that the material has to get into, and then we put it into these super sacks that are much easier to move around and keep stockpiling it. Then we weigh it all, document it all, and then eventually we'll truck it to the Ocean Legacy facility in the Lower Mainland. We get a smorgasbord of material here from the ocean, and it's a sad fact of life that kind of everything in our everyday lives, there's some portion of that ends up in the ocean all across around the globe. So it is soup to nuts here. I would say, a significant part of the materials that we see are related to the fishing industry, aquaculture, commercial fishing, sport fishing. We see a lot of long-range material here that comes from Asia and circulates across the Pacific. Plastic pollution in the ocean is an incredibly complicated and significant problem. The more we learn, the more serious it gets. And plastic never really goes away. It just breaks down into smaller and smaller pieces. And the smaller it gets, the easier it gets incorporated into the ocean ecosystem and human ecosystem. I'm super passionate about marine debris. It's something that I've worked out in Tofino and out in Pacific Rim National Park for on most of my career. So I've seen a lot of it, and I've collected a lot of it, and facilities like this make a real difference, and it encourages people to get involved, think about their own actions, the differences they can make in their own lifestyles to contribute to a solution rather than part of the problem.